Different sources are saying rain in the forecast today, but my weather app just says it's going to be cloudy all day. I think I know what's going to be in my plans for today. Today, I find myself at the Louvre. I'm going to be looking at some pretty pictures. And of course, the Louvre is a tourist-heavy area. And of course, where there's tourists like myself, there's scam artists. So I gotta be on my toes. I've seen this sculpture before on Animal Crossing, but this is my first actual real time experiencing it in person. If you ask me, museums are one of the best ways to immerse yourself in history and culture. Some paintings are so beautiful, they make me wish I was actually in the scene. Behold, the painting everyone goes nuts over. This painting is huge. Here's its size compared to my head. And it kind of makes me wonder how someone could have created something so spectacular back then without the advances of technology. So the line to see the Mona Lisa wasn't really all that bad. And because people were stalling and taking photos, I got to gaze at it long after I had gotten enough decent photos of it. And here we've got some beautiful still life. In addition to the spectacular paintings I saw, beautiful sculptures like these deserve recognition as well. Behold the Moai, or however you pronounce it. It's Squidward's house. In addition to Mona Lisa, Liberty leading the people is pretty iconic too. That one's another one of my favorites. Here's another huge painting behind me. This place is so huge, and there is just so much to take in and learn about. To me, everything here is fascinating, but if I took my time and studied every single work of art here, it would take me likely more than a whole entire day. So I've got to be fast-paced and just skim through everything, and that is why I get guidebooks. In other news, I finally got myself a map so that I can find all the specific works of art that I want to check out. The ceilings of this building are quite a sight as well. So I was just in the room where the French crown jewels were kept, and it is one of the most gorgeous, spectacular rooms ever. There's gold all over the place, if I could say it that way. And there are portraits of not just famous monarchs, but also famous artists with marble plaques underneath them with names on them. I didn't bother vlogging it, but you've got to see it to believe it. Hello, Venus. You're looking as gorgeous as ever. Whenever I look at fragments of works of art, like this right here, it fills me with wonder as to what the whole entire original could have looked like. So right now I am in the basement of the Louvre, which contains, as you can see, pieces of the building's history before it is the art museum that it is today. I don't really have much to say about it, though. I really do need to read up on it, but it does seem really fascinating. So this room that I'm in right now has even more Louvre building history. As with the rest of the museum, there is just way too much to take in. So I'm going to be spending quite a while in this room because this is too fascinating to pass up. Look everyone, hieroglyphics. That's right, I am exploring the Egyptian wing of the museum right now. I think after I'm finished here in Egypt, I'm going to go check out the cartoons and then wander through the gardens, and then I'm gonna be out of here. Seeing all these ancient statues and pillars everywhere kind of makes me wish I was exploring an actual ancient Egyptian temple right now. And now I find myself in some room replicas. Look at these beautiful tapestries. I was going to go to the gardens after I was finished with the Louvre, but it started to rain when literally the second I stepped out. So instead, I opted for a 3-course meal at a fancy Parisian cafe. First, I am going to have some delicious snails, or escargot. And here is our main course. Fried salmon with cream sauce. Let's dump a little onto there. And onto the linguine. This looks good. And finally, for dessert, I am having a lemon meringue tart. Inspired by my artful day, I stopped by an art supply store so I could do a bit of art myself during my trip. I completely forgot to point this out while I was still at the Louvre because everything else was distracting me. But one cool thing that the Louvre does for their audio guides is that I think they collaborated with Nintendo. They use 3DS handheld consoles for their audio guides, which I think is really epic. Had I known this beforehand, I definitely would have gotten myself an audio guide. I even gushed over how cool this was with a museum worker who also happened to be a big Nintendo fanatic, like I am.